Ciao, Colin. Ciao, Bambini. Welcome aboard.
Hey, it's good to be back again. I'm
Yeah,
here 27 seconds later.
and it's the
It's good
27th card, so
times.
that kind of works. And it's also our
Hey.
age.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'll be 27 in February, but whatever.
No, that's fair. That's fair. No, I was 27 last year. I'm just kind of wearing sunglasses indoors is that kind of like late 20s mood. But
Yeah,
no, yeah, no, my eyes still bung for people who are wondering. So that's, but it's different. Like it's the same hospital eye infection, but that was like the lower part. Now it's the upper part. So I look like I've had a surgery error. Uh, yeah,
it's
looks like the old
just
facelift decided to sink.
it's just ring light sensitivity. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about
There you
it.
go. Yeah, there you go. These actually look all right. These are my Post Malone sunglasses. These actually look kind of all right. Because I bought them like when they came out, 18 months ago, 2 years ago. They did like an Oakley thing and I literally bought them the
Oh, are
second.
they like a branded thing? Like, is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah. These are
the
like Post
brand?
Malone, like
Nice.
Post Malone something sunglasses. What are they? Oh no, that's my Brooks Brothers case. I put my Post Malone sunglasses in my Brooks Brothers case, which is for my actual seeing eyes. But yeah, how was your week? How was the previous 27 seconds?
The previous 27 seconds were good, I'm going to say, from what I can remember of them. I'm regressing into that part of life, when you just like don't remember things. So I'm like, yeah, it was great. I feel like I had a good time. I was at a party with a bunch of 16-year-olds with a friend who it was her child's 16th.
Hmm.
Okay.
You weren't just like
Before anyone,
snuck
before anyone like, gets in there and
gets
just
into
jumps in
the
and cancels me on the spot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I've never been more terrified in my life, like truly, truly terrified. So I was just like, I need to drink 3 bottles of Prosecco immediately just to understand what these little freaks are saying. But good times. So, and didn't get the deathly super cold from it. So
Oh, that's good.
bonus.
But apparently children can't carry the super cold.
Well, I'll
Anyway.
tell you what they can carry. God, well, I shouldn't say what. I don't want to incriminate my friends. It's like, no comment. Anyway,
No,
good. Yeah, so it was child's 16th birthday party. God help this generation. That's all I can say. They're at once. They know what they're doing, but also, like every young generation, are lambs to the slaughter.
yeah. I like that. What
How was your week?
it was pretty good, I think, except for the progressing eye issue. Now I'm on antibiotics for the first time since 2018, and I was explaining before I'm pretty racist against them. Um, no, it's good. I finished the course except for a couple of journeys for the members on the weekend, and then we did some stuff in the greenhouse, and I started taking energy medicine, shamanic energy medicine clients. So it was my first full week of clients, which was super fun. I'm actually really, I mean, good because it was very expensive and a lot of work to get the training done. But now that it's sort of begun in earnest, there's like a no regrets. Like this is really good. So mostly that's what I did. Digged about a little bit with the book, not so much. Just kind of moved things around on the kind of layout to go. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's like just gently tilting the frame on the
Yep.
wall just to see what's happening before you even put the
Yep.
art
And
in or
then be like,
whatever.
yep. Good work.
That's enough for now.
More or less. All right, I just got to jump out the chat if we're going to move into the rest of the stuff. So what were you working on? Oh, by the way, we should also mention, I do believe your daylight savings starts next week, doesn't it?
I believe you. Yes.
Yeah, it's something like that. Whatever it is, we'll send out something in the Telegram group and probably even pin the message because I do believe it changes for everyone. We just got to work out the how and where of all of that. All right. So yeah, what did you get up to work-wise this week?
Well, more tweaking of the ring,
Yep, good.
titting on the heart, and then we did the book.
Yeah, which I'm very happy with. But shall we start with you showing us your ring? Do you think?
as as it has been. Let's do that.
All right.
I'm now a cam girl, so let's all get into it.
I am very happy with this bleach job. I think your ring looks excellent.
Yeah, we were kind of back and forth last week we were talking about, and again, why everyone should truly join the Telegram group, because people were like, oh, there's like a perspective issue, like what's happening, and it was at one point had added multiple stones, and you had rightly commented that it's starting to look like the butt card alert, because
Yeah,
it's just like
it's
crack.
got rings, but we already got a butt card. We don't want people to get
We've got a
confused.
ring, we've got a crack, we're doing the whole fucking show.
Yeah, although I mean, it still can be right. So, like, if you had a reading that was about different, like, let's say there were too many bottoms in your life, the whip card and the ring card and the twink card. Oh my god,
we are
welcome to the main stage of Bottoms Fool's Race.
Should be put down by rights. Yeah, so and it was just a case of centering it, and once I was like, right, we'll enlarge the ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. Just using the correct fetish terminology, because we are sexually inclusive here at Fortune's Fools. And it looked great. I thought added a few more sparkles to the water. That's a technical term.
Mm-hmm.
And I will still have to change the nature of the ring, just because it's as from like a copyright. We've mentioned it enough now that I can hear the elves and Riverdale or whatever, just like their little pointy ears pricking up. So we will have to change the kind of nature of the design of the thing, but I think everything is in place, and it's just a case of doing that, and then we're good to stamp that ring right in the middle.
Yeah, I think so. I like the sparkles too. I mean, it's important to have a clean ring in this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was just I think there wasn't enough texture on the in the foreground, the background. So maybe I might add a little more to the mountains, the mountain range, and then it's we're sending that fucker to the printer.
Yeah, it's good, and the green on the sort of
that's right. So that was
really
there was no. It was just like a kind of beach, I think, a sandy beach, and I think you suggested adding the tree line, and it's worked. It has kind of balanced everything out. It's kind of placed everything in thirds. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're still there. It's put everything in the image in a third situation without. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's
So good job, Gordon.
Yes, I made your ring beautiful.
You are an illustrator now.
Yes, from card 28 to 36, I will in fact be doing the art moving forward.
It's stick insects and great tunes. That's what we can promise.
I'm happy with it. I also think now that it's in that kind of not quite Peruvian setting in our cinematic universe, which is the term I invented, it doesn't look so copyrighty. So I don't think you'll need to mangle Hugo Weaving's ring much.
Yeah, I'll do a bit. I'll maybe do a bit more due diligence on that one, just to see that where we stand on that. Yeah. But I think, just like changing even the sort of the gelding. I say gelding
phrasing,
because the last show, because I believe last time I was misquoted as saying gelding, which in my accent sounds exactly the same. Maybe just changing like the pattern of the gelding, and that will be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Or even etching kind of inside, because what it could have is a whole bunch of little chaos stars as like a patch of silver. Yeah, I'm also a jewelry designer in addition to being an illustrator.
Yes. It's a rune suit range coming soon. Yeah. Just really? Hoop earrings. That's all you'll do. Not talismans, none of that. Hoop earrings.
Yeah, brought to you by Fierce Jewels. All right. No, I'm happy with it. I think it looks really good, and it's exactly what I wanted. It's that 80s Rolex ad kind of thing. It's Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings without being sued, and yeah, I think it works really well. I'm very happy with it. Nice one. All right, now let's go to this one's a little bit more troubling. A troubled heart,
Oh.
if you will.
Oh God, yeah. Hold on.
All right, just leave the frame. It doesn't matter. I'll vamp.
Bye. Just soundproofing the room because I can hear
More junkies.
some other troubled hearts in the
Right.
and the background.
Maybe getting stabbed
Yeah.
with
Okay. So
adrenaline needles.
we're hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, we're getting there.
All righty. All right. Let's look at where we're at with this. I can talk us through your heartbreaking journey.
So let's see. So we had last week we talked about changing it from sort of dates from night to day. I'm just like and it just I don't know.
The shirt looks crap, and we've lost the handsomeness of the jawline.
Yeah. So I think it should still be at nighttime, but the scene in the background is just lighter.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just lights. Because I got through this and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? This is not, because I do think it should be, there is something about the night and like there is like a shining, there was just something alluring about the image and it draws you straight to the center, which is what you want because it's the heart card.
What self-respecting paramour falls in love during the day in Paris? Like, is that even legal?
So I think the background and all that's more defined, so it's not that big of a sort of change or change back.
Yeah.
And the sort of the neck and the chin was just a quick kind of display because I was like, this isn't gonna play. Like I knew kind of, I sent it to you the other night, I was like, this isn't fucking working. So yeah. So outside of that, we have that decided. What do we think about the actual heart? Do you think the flames, could we be doing something? There seems to be, to me, something I could do more, and it is just not slapping me clean in the face, which
I don't know. This is ending up being another challenge card, really, because I don't know. The only other thing would be to lose the sort of Sanskrit symbol for the heart chakra and do something full Baz Luhrmann and like have like vines or something around it to go like proper metal Catholic.
A sacrament, like
yeah. I'm not sure if it's that either. I think so.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Try and get the whole card mostly right, and then we can see what happens. The heart thing. So like, it's almost as if you go back to the night scene for the like hot guy in the white shirt, presumably Greek, out in just a white shirt. And if you have like just more lights in a night scene behind, because you can kind of see the storefronts on the street there. So light could be coming out of the storefronts as well as the lamp, right? So that there's sort of, we could just add more light to the background. But I think if you go back to it.
Oh my God, he's a waiter. We're doing like a full story. We are like doing a full RuPaul storyline here. He's a waiter that has had just like this night of serving this like person that he's fallen in love with. He's fled the scene of his employ and just following his heart. Like that's what he's doing.
There you go. So it's like a boy.
I think here's what's gonna happen. Right, here's what I'm gonna do. We'll do all that. That's all correct. That's a big tick. And we'll do like a leave it to me, and I'll see what I can do for the week, and just because there is something, and I don't think it's taken away the Sanskrit because it's just sitting there minding its own business. That isn't really an element in the overall thing. So I'll think of something. Like we're wanting Baz Luhrmann, we're wanting Gay Paris, and the heart. We'll figure out. Any suggestions in the comments, more than welcome.
Yeah.
This is after all a group party.
Yeah, there's Nathan saying that the background's a little too distracting. I think it's just you lose the shot. You lose the kind of
That's because and I was like when I was kind of washing out the shading, I was like, man, there was like detail on the shading and stuff. I went, that's nice work, like, and it's a shame to see that go. So yeah,
If it doesn't work, it's going to be we could was scrap the card and go with a close up of like a sailor's heart tattoo on a bicep.
why don't we just make it a sailor's heart tattoo with this?
Well,
Like,
would you be able to?
like just make it like like a supernatural sailor's tattoo. So it's like that's what's under the shirt, but we're not like revealing the shirt. We're not doing like the cologne advert where it's like ripping the shirt and stuff.
Oh,
why not just add like kind of a tattoo element to it and like the Sacred Heart art element to it and just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, give it a shot. I think if you go back to like evening shirt and more attractive jawline, see what happens.
Because that's kind of looks like drag queen who's had a filler, and this is them and Boyd like during the day, you know, like they're like a little too pumped. So yeah, and also it has like the night scene has like a kind of closeness to it where it's like the heart does kind of shine out through it, but also it's more intimate.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's more fitting for the heart card. So yeah.
But if it fails, I'm in close up on an actual bicep, like more like a Jean-Paul Gaultier angle rather than.
That's what I was going for. Cologne advert. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lamal was a classic scent from several years before I was born. Cool. All right. Well, yes, I think if we go back to evening for that, we have a backup like tableau entirely. If it turns out that it's not just the night scene as much as it is everything else, we can go Jean-Paul Gaultier, who didn't he get cancelled in Paris? No, who am I thinking of? Galliano. Cancelled in Paris for like that extreme anti-Semitism. So
yeah, but fully just working now again. So what's cancellation? You know,
from
that little gay pirate
from being pro-Holocaust to that's why you deserve a cancellation. Come on.
Yeah, that's why you don't interview people like sitting on sidewalks in Paris, smoking cigarettes and drinking 3 bottles of red wine because they're just going to be a mess. It's never a good opinion, really. That's not a salon situation. That's like it's bad times.
Yeah. All right, now I'm happy with that. Good luck mending your broken heart.
Cheers.
Yeah, this writes itself. Yeah. But seriously, it was going to be my backup idea anyway. I thought if we couldn't get the sort of heart glowy chest thing to work, was going to be a tattoo, like a close up of a bicep, because it can almost be, although I don't think the twink is that muscly from the butt card, but it's almost like it sort of works to have another like close up anatomical card. But anyway, I prefer the story of the waiter with the supernatural heart falling in love with someone across the street. Hopefully me. Yeah.
See what I can do.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. All right, so let's get to the book card, which I think is, I mean, I say this most cards, to be honest, not the heart yet, fast becoming one of my favorites. So this is exactly what I want, what I wanted it to be. So talk us through the process once the buffering catches up.
So just letting the video catch up. We're going far too fast. Send the sketch out to yourself first. And that is like Carl Jung's like Red Book. That was, is it Jung or Jung?
Jung.
What's Jung? Okay,
Jung,
cool.
like I'm 27 years young.
Yeah, same. Which was cool, and also I've seen the variations of it where it's just this big fucker just sitting on a desk and all that kind of stuff, or like people holding it with like plastic gloves. So like I had like a reference point for it, and I was just going like in bizarre, like the direction of that, like open air bizarre. The guy, the priest, what did we just say? Well, that's the mad Arab, right?
Yeah.
He does have on his little so I took like kind of the idea of what that guy was wearing. And he does have a little Fortune Fool's like Chaos Star in his crown. I don't know if that's like the bad vibe to say that because he's like being driven mad by like the information.
No,
and
this
stuff.
one isn't the mad Arab necessarily. This guy is like the high priest of the sort of Jungian Necronomicon.
Right.
So that's legal. That's fine. He also
It's
may have
legal,
stolen
we'll
it
allow
from, he may have stolen it from
I was
Stars
like, is
Hollow
that
on his last
cheeky,
holiday.
or- So it was just like I feel like I'm going to go through, and so the elements in the background aren't like the little trinkets and things. They're not shiny enough. They're not like sparkly enough. Just because I feel like that's things catch your eye. So it's not to distract from like the book. The book's looking good, but I just there's an element. I'll do a run through again in the the light, and just to kind of thing, and maybe get like another couple of guys in there because
Phrasing.
it's not giving crowd just now. So I'll maybe switch out.
I think so. The other thing I would do, I think the book needs to be thicker. It's thicker in the sketch. That almost looks like a photo album, but like I really like the gilding. But
this is
actually
Gordon White. This is your life, like, and then this is the book. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. So I've got it on a kind of dais, like the book. Like, do you think like hooks on the like to kind of that are like supporting the thing? Do you think that's too out of place, or
potentially like I understand, like, because obviously if you have like a lectern
like a shelf hooks, not like under hooks. I don't know what term I'm thinking of, but like just because it now just looks like a book that's leaning on like like on the against the wall of like the market.
Give it a shot. I don't know. I see it as being on like on a lectern or something, as if you were reading in church. So I don't necessarily mind the angle of it. If you think it needs it, give it a shot. But I get that this is a giant book in a marketplace. Like I get that. I don't think it needs to be structurally evident, but give it a shot, right? I also think you could probably get like, as you say, one or two more people. Yeah. Maybe not. Like, it's not as uncrowded as you think. Like someone in the bottom left, because I actually quite like the stairs as well. You don't want to lose the fact that he is actually up on a dais. But yeah, I'm so happy with it. I think it looks excellent. I think it's really cool.
That's cool. I really enjoyed so also from just like looking at references and things, I ended up on a YouTube spiral where I am now retiring to Marrakesh. I'm going to buy a little riad in Marrakesh because that seems like the ideal life, because that I was looking like architecture and stuff. And that's just what's happening. Like literally once this deck is published, I'm retiring. I'm retiring at 27.
Look, I get it. That was, it's funny because obviously we're trapped in a tyrannical regime down here in the Upside Down.
Endless cycle of
but like,
bullshit.
Well, we can't leave the country. So it's sort of, if I could, where would I go? Because basically everywhere was ruined. And you go, not everywhere. There are actually some places in Africa that are pretty fucking forward thinking with this kind of stuff. So yeah, I might get, but it just reminds me, like, if I can have the one from the Ab Fab episode.
That dude, literally the reference for me. Literally, and you're even wearing we're on the 27th, so obviously we had to go back and watch that. But even the glasses, you're wearing the sunglasses from the episode almost. So we're doing good. Like that is absolutely. I was like, that you sell your unwanted daughter. No, we can't see that. But yeah, absolutely, that was the reference.
Good. So I'm just getting it back to the book cut, and yeah. All right, I feel that energy in it now. Not bad. All right, so you could put like a kind to trees sticker on the book as well. Just a subtle Ab Fab reference. No, we'll just know that like Patsy and or Eddie is somewhere in the crowd. All right. Anything else for the book? Because I think I think it needs to be a longer book in the sense that more pages in it.
Thicker book. A few more. We'll deck about with more people, and that's kind of it. I'll run through it again with the light because I sound like an insane person when I say like it needs more glitter, but like just to kind of give it a more sort of bizarre market, kind of trinkets everywhere, kind of lighting situation.
Yeah, sure. That was one of the comments in the chat, is like the lanterns look really good. So whereas before there were almost too many lanterns, now you can let your gay heart run free and festoon the bazaar with all the fairy lights you wish. Make it as Nigella as you
no
want.
fairy lights in this one. No fairy lights in this one.
Just
more
lanterns.
Not Chinese lanterns, but more lanterns.
They look like Nigella lanterns from her Christmas episode. So there you go. It's probably where she gets them.
But yeah, no, I think that's pretty. Like the sketch versus final is pretty solid, and the composition I feel is pretty solid. I'll have a run through again. It's done. Print.
Yeah,
you know, once we finalize the border, that's going to look good. I think didn't. So again, this was the one where you were talking about imbuing the deck with magic, whereas before the Lenormand decks haven't really been magical. And I was like, oh, it's a book. What can you do? And it's kind of has been one of the more solid compositions, I feel. So we're on to a good ticket here.
So my first thought as well, I agree completely. I think it's one of my favorites. My first thought as well is that we don't actually know what. So presumably the ship card is going to be, let's say, on the box, but we don't actually know what the cover of the book's going to be. And whether there's a way that something like this, whether that could be the cover of the book that goes in it. Because remember, for people who don't know, although I did mention it last week, the book itself is obviously the book associated with the cards, but it's a full fortune telling book. So there's sort of a way, there's a possibility that this could, I mean, this is the other main contender, I think. I think the ship goes with the kind of nautical theme that I'm surrounded by, and maybe it's this, maybe it's the sort of Kraken situation for the box. But I like an image from the book card on the cover of the book just makes a kind of camellia sense to me. I don't know. What do you think?
Would it be the book card, or is that like as the cover like a set? Do we want to do like something special for the book? Is that
it would be an inspired
as I'm literally saying that, I'm like, yeah, Colin, just give yourself a little more work to do.
Exactly.
No
Exactly. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. Maybe it doesn't look like anything. But I like, so far that seems to be the most obvious choice for a book cover. Like if it was more work, the best way to do it is sort of to have the bazaar. I'll jump back into it. The bazaar scene as, let's just say that's the front cover, but the actual story wraps around the back cover. So you actually get the left-hand side of the bazaar, like the actual stalls with the spices in them and so on, as the bottom of the back cover, because presumably there's writing on the top of it. So that was my thought. But as you went, I know you like that idea, but that's a lot more work for you.
because I'm also thinking, like, would it not be cool in an ideal world where we could fit elements of different cards into like the scene, if you know what I mean, like different characters.
Like the twink is just like it's Where's Wally, and the twink is
just
like
hanging out. No, but you know, like different, like so it's like the just different nods to different like elements of the thing, the deck. So yeah, I mean let's pretend we never had this conversation. Oh, forgot about it. Sorry. Bye.
That would be really. There's a few of them that would lend themselves. Obviously, we could have My Future Wife and Dracula and the twink and whatever like in the crowd.
Where is the women card? Because every time you mention it, I just gasp.
You can't wait to draw Eva Green.
No, that 100%. I'm like, I know it's going to be. I know the idea is going to be good, and I know what I'm going to do is going to be good, and I'm just like excited for it.
We should send her a copy, like, because maybe that'll be the poster one once it's done. She can be like, "What psychopaths?"
I wonder if she. because she's French and kind of cookie. She might know who Lenormand was. Like she might have that kind of that intel, you know. So who knows? Because again, she would play her in the movie of Marianne Lenormand. Like that would just be the
100%.
That would be the person playing that character. So what we're going to do after this is write the screenplay and get it optioned and become bazillionaires and get our shitty TV play put on Amazon Originals.
Where they ruin it by making it work, and we nevertheless move to Marrakesh anyway.
She's into festing. It's inclusive.
Well, no, Eva would love it, right? Because it's sort of split down the middle. A lot of people say that, well, not a lot of people, some of the presumed first-hand reporting says that Madame Lenormand was quite ugly, particularly later on in life.
Yeah.
So it's like a Charlize Theron monster opportunity for actresses who are beautiful to like look like normal people and get an Academy Award.
And in my comic book head, the way that I'm like, it's 4 different versions of her, and she plays 4 different versions. Yeah. And it's not, you don't know what the truth in anything, and she's just like doing a full con the whole way through. And that's like, it's one series, one and done, and she's like, and then she walks off into the sunset.
Yeah, man, brilliant.
That's how I see it. Let's right, guys. We're actually quitting this. We can no longer talk about it because we
have signed a deal with New Line Cinema.
Timothy Chalamet is now playing.
Excellent. All right. Well, that'll be fun. I guess keep the book cover project in the back of your head, because I do think the box is going to be a variant of like the Kraken.
It could even be like that kind of like pastiche kind of thing where it's like, it's not like the other, like the images we've done. It could just be like where it's intentionally things are copy and pasted into the kind of the elements of each, and it looks like kind of like a Versace kind of, like there's treatments where it's not going to give me an aneurysm to do it like at the back end of this.
Let's just make it the house card, but more detailed.
No comment.
All right. Well, so we come this week to the letter. Now, you know what I was thinking? For fuck's sake, there are a lot of communication cards out of 36 in this deck, right? So there's the twink / the rider. Arguably, there's the pigeons / the bird. In a way, there's the book, although, I mean, it'll be in a very specific situation with regards to the cards. And then there's the letter. And the letter is, because there is the rider card, which is the sort of surprise bitch news, the letter takes on more formality. So it's contracts. It is, if you're being served an injunction, it's restraining orders, it's job offers, it's like official letter. They are still kind of surprising or delivering, but the surprise bitch card is the rider. So the letter is actually, it's often a worse card. Like it's a last will and testament and so on. So if you're looking for like surprise good news, look to the twink. But if you're looking for, well, when am I going to settle on the house? Look for the relation of like house and letter forward in time by however many rows or columns rather. And you can kind of get a steer of it that way. So it's sort of, it's weird. Like it's not necessarily a super interesting card, but it's a really, really necessary one. And I think the direction we're going to go, because we have so many news cards, let's cross our fingers and jump to cunt board. All right. Hang on. Do I need to update this? Because I don't think the silver tray showed up. Let me just scroll. God, when did I get ready really, really early this morning? No, I can't see the silver tray on that one, Colin.
Hold on.
Bear with.
Right, that's not what we're doing. Hold on.
I've jumped back. You jump onto it, but I'll explain. So essentially, I like the idea of a top-down view, phrasing? Not quite, of a letter, like a wax-sealed letter, on a silver tray as if it's being delivered. Speaking of our future wife, as if you're, but it's like on a riverboat casino, but as if it's being delivered to James Bond at the gambling table, like someone's bringing you like a telegram on a silver tray, right? So that's the top down view of it. So its twin in many respects is going to be the Clover, because it's that same. It's super close up. That's the story of it. It's not anything, and it has to be kind of like the book, closed or sealed, because it's official and it's not like if an open letter or writing a letter is a different meaning. If you were looking for like letter writing between friends, you'd be looking at different cards. You'd be looking at the birds, you'd be looking at the garden, and so on. But if you're looking for your appointment, your summons to court, you look for this one. So that's the general idea. Not that my images that I could find were that good, because it's actually, I can see it cinematically in our cinematic universe, right? Of this sort of top-down view of like the top of a waiter's head and shoulders carrying a tray quite close up, which means I think in the vertical part of the card, like around the inset, you might be able to see either, well, it depends, gambling tables or just other people who are on like a top-down view on a gambling floor. But it can't be crowded like the coffin, because the letter is too small. So it's sort of the same top-down angle, but like super zoomed in. And that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Anyway, here we go. Back to Cuntboard. All right, so you get the idea. This sort of silver tray being carried kind of a situation, and a nice. Oh, this is all old-timey. It doesn't necessarily. It can be parchment. Why the fuck not? In our cinematic universe. And I think the wax seal should be the Fortune's Fool's Chaos Star.
100%.
All right. Thoughts?
Yeah, like it's. Okay. Yeah, that's it's a great perspective as well, and I can see like in my mind's eye, it's a really like the shine of the tray versus the kind of letter, like because the letter will be white, right, or white with like obviously shading and stuff, and a little wax stamp. It'll look, I think it'll look pretty, I mean, obviously it's supposed to because it's silver service, pretty sharp. The information in the background, like if it's top down, you're probably not going to see much, but maybe like the floorboards of like a boat, you know, like that's like that kind of thing. And the or lights carpet. Will use like
I'd see it as like
carpet.
Casino floor carpet. If you had more time, you could do like squid carpet, so that as if the actual riverboat has a carpet theme design like this. But I think that'd get too busy. I think there's you could do a Chaos Star themed carpet, but it, like find the colors of like a Monte Carlo casino carpet floor and do something like that.
I'm like, I can see like it's a really forced perspective, so you're getting like the details of the butler, the letter deliverer, and you're getting everything in. So yeah, pretty interesting. Again, a simple card that is given an interesting twist. So, and it's always more fun to draw, because like if you're just sitting drawing a letter, like great. Do it in 2 hours, whatever. Like there's your deck. There's your deck that you've paid like 80 quid for or whatever. Like fucking go and eat. There you go. So yeah, I like when it's like an interest, like when there's a twist enough that it makes it interesting for me to kind of work on, because again, otherwise why not just have stick insects and stick characters just sort of doing things. So yeah, good work, Gordon.
And I think like it is. There might not be much at all, as you say. Like the carpet might look weird. It might end up having to be floorboards so that people don't know what is this fucking pattern around this guy's shoulder. So floorboards might work in that sense. Definitely see how you go, because it is in the same way that the Clover card doesn't.
I don't hate I don't hate carpet because, or like a rug or whatever, because the idea of a casino or casino boat is to like augment your perception of time and space so that you're not really clocking what's happening. So like if it is like some weird repeat pattern that's kind of just slightly giving you the, you know, giving you like some weird feeling, like that it's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
So we could do something with that, I think. And it is again, that's specific to the cinematic universe, which is a term you invented. And but also kind of plays into like the letter, like a letter arrives, I guess, apropos, like you are not expecting. So it is outside of context. It just arrives, and there it is for you. So yeah, it's not like a terrible idea. I like the idea of it. And we're getting a Squid Game reference in, so we've moved on from Drag Race to Squid Game or Squid Game. I don't know what that is. I've not watched it yet, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty happy with it. This one is, it's the letter in the same way as the clover. Like, this is one of the ones.
And the letter is, so we think just like a paper letter, like folded paper letter with like the stamp on it.
Yes. Yeah. So if I jump back, the one that it looks most like is this one. But not as sort of rescued from a pirate ship as this motherfucker. A little bit cleaner. It's a classier establishment, right? But that general idea, that sort of fold with a wax seal that has the rune soup, the Fortune's Fool's Chaos Star on it. Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
It's a simple one.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, cool.
It's also, I will say, just going out, leaving on a note with it. It's enough of a variation in textures of different things that it makes it like so we've got good perspective, we've got different textures, and we've got a little bit of world building. So it's kind of knocking it out the park there.
Well, I mean, once we get to the card that is our age, which is this one, we do have an understanding of the cinematic universe, so that each card doesn't need to be the big establishing wide shot. You already know, you already know the universe by card 27 and age 27.
Yeah, it's a vignette. So we're dealing in the same universe, just slightly different stories that are, sometimes it's Mira Sorvino, sometimes it's Sessa Spacek. What can you do?
All right. And the reason this is moving on to the inset, which is the Seven of Spades, which is like a bad card. The reason why this one isn't generally the good news is because of that. Like the bad card is, the Seven of Spades is misfortune and trouble and upset and tears and so on. Can also be black magic. So this is also the card of sigil magic, hence why I want the Chaos Star on it. So for people who are magically operant, that would be a kind of card that's in there. But it's like pacts with demons and so on. What are you doing?
We could do like a sigil on the carpet, like between you and I, between us girls, like something, to set the fuck up. But no one heard that, okay?
No.
Erase it from your minds. All 12 of you, erase that from your minds right now at once.
Nice. So it's like it's a bad card. So if you're looking for misfortune and like downward change of fortunes, it's because 7 is a change card and spades is the worst of the suits. That's the one for it. So in that situation, if you're going to get a termination letter from your employer, that's when you'd be bringing the 7 of spades into play, unless you were going to do magic, and then you'd be looking for it. So that's the inset in a, it works quite well, I think. But you can also tell that originally the letter was a bad news letter as opposed to the writer being a good news one. And that's kind of the tone you need if you're going to be reading it for other people. Although the tone, speaking of songs, I did not go tonally in that direction. What did you end up with the song?
So I was like, it's a song with a letter. And once again, songwriters, please, I beg you, diversify in your content because this is getting ridiculous. I went with I'm Gonna Sit Right Down and Write Myself a Letter by Nina Simone. I think it was originally by someone else, but I can't remember. But she had a cover. Had a cover of it. It's just like literally uh, a letter that never arrived, essentially. So it's like kind of bad news in that kind of way, where it was wishful thinking. But it's a nice song, and I truly just was kind of gazumped. I was like, "Fuck, what am I going to do? What am I going to pick? Like letter." Even if we just started writing songs about emails or like I don't know Insta stories or something, like anything will do at this point.
I sort of thought that as well, like going with what is it, reading of wills. There's not, although to be in songwriters' defense, it's not exactly a top 20 chart topper, a song about the reading of wills. Maybe I reckon Nikki could do it. I reckon because it would be her sonning these bitches who are coming, like she's there to read their will.
That's again right. Actually, we're closing this down.
We're going to be screenwriters and we're going to be songwriters. Bye, everybody. This is the 27 card deck. We're now too busy.
We're also going to be writing the next Bond movie, so just watch out, everybody. that'll be our gentleman card or like our dude card.
So I went with Yours Sincerely by Kylie Minogue. And it's basically not like a breakup, but a, thanks, you're in my life, etc. I'll always think fondly of you. But there's something about the way she sings Yours Sincerely that actually has the same movement as if she was writing it with a cursive pen. It's really like, listen to it and go,
oh yeah,
da, 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 yours sincerely. Like there's like this hoops to the writing of it. So it actually, in terms of the literal writing of a letter, that's what I went with because.
And she was like living her fantasy at that time. She was like I believe during that, like she was in France doing her whole thing. Like she was like handwriting letters like that. She had nothing else to do. She didn't know anyone in France. She was just like, "Fuck, I'll write a letter." But I remember that album and the song, like enjoying it. And again, she just has something for every occasion. Like she truly is.
And she's got, like Boy George says, particularly with Better the Devil You Know, people don't realize that Kylie's really dark. Like Kylie's like Marilyn Manson dark. It's just that she sings it in such a happy way, which makes it horrifying. She's like a banshee. You can get weird darkness out of her. And that's kind of one of them. It's like, I am leaving you forever. It was great, but and she sings it, and you go, "Wow, you're cold, bitch! You're fucking cold," and I love it. And
she did this album, in the recent past, and it was like covers of her songs, and it was I think it was the London, it may have been the London Philharmonic, like some orchestra, right? And it was like the Wild Rose song, and it was like these. Somber, and they were just so gorgeous, but also you were just like, oh, this bitch is like, she's not just like a discotheque queen. She's given like this is why she has my heart. Like she had my heart in the 90s because she went with that Confide in Me stuff, and it was like that vaguely
Princess era.
Yeah. I was like, all right. So I like a dimensional horror, like I want someone that's just really kind of going in all directions. So absolutely, she has a dark. Are
you thinking of the Abbey Road Sessions album?
That's the one, yes.
Yeah, that's wild. That's actually like a whoa.
It's so fucking good. So good. Love it. So anyone check that out. Abbey Road, Kylie, put it in the
You'll find it, it's on Spotify.
So good.
All right, so what do you got going on this week?
Well, card-wise, we will spruce up the book card. We will put a stake in the heart card, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we're doing the letter. That's 3. So I would like to make more headway. Once we get the 2 sort of lagging cards done, we can go back to talking about the ship card, we're doing the Raider.
Yeah.
I think just for my own sanity, I'm going to go back through the the first. I think it's 11 cards that were drawn in a smaller scale. I think if we just do them do them like in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For me, that would just be mentally soothing.
Right, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
we'll get the Raider done. Not necessarily next week, but we're going to do Raider, shit, and then Clover's fine, and then move it. I've been saving as I've been going along some bits and pieces for the Cloud card.
Oh, cool.
Because that was fine, but now that we're working in a higher definition, there's more fun to be had with it. So
yeah, and I think you've got better at clouds because there are now clouds like
they're everywhere
in the cloud deck. Yeah,
the cloud. Oh, that's cute. Cloud punk. So yeah, working those 3, just get them locked down, and then we can move on to the HD remaster of the first few cards.
Nice. Because we were talking, we should do a main show. We should do a RuneSoup podcast episode once. Probably around this is card 27, which means there's only a couple.
So get to
cards.
30, but
yeah,
because that's our famous we take a bank holiday weekend for that one.
yeah. So we should probably do that, and if you can, I mean, it's up to you. We'll see how far we go, but it would be good because the people who are in the chat group and people watch the replay and so on are following it. But there hasn't really been. I mention it occasionally on solo shows, but I think we could do a full. I got a new video set up for the main show, so we could actually show people through some of the cards and describe our experience of weird things during seeing a cardiologist when we're for the heart card and starting the book on the book card and shit that you go, oh, that's real RuneSoup content, because it's magic rather than just the cards, right? So yeah, if you want to do your HD remasters, we'll get another show in the can.
And that's 3 weeks from now, potentially.
So next week's 28, which is what I turn next, and then 29. And it depends, right? So it is basically, because on our bank holidays, we take more holiday than Rue. We've done them on the 29th and we've done them on the 11th. So we've done them on either side of the 10th. So if we actually want to stop it on the 29th and come back on the 30th or whatever, that's up to you. We'll keep that quantum. Speaking of Bond.
Nice.
Alrighty, and thanks everyone in the chat as well, and of course there's the Telegram group for things other than, I see there Alan spamming with waiter pictures that we don't need because I said top down. I see you. But yeah, all right everyone, have yourselves a good week, and we shall see you in the chat.